That's right, we're shooting this drone today. It's gonna be a quick and simple video, but we're still gonna create something cool that looks like this. So this is pretty much the setup for the whole shoot. I have the black backdrop here, and I just put a piece of black paper on this table, and then I got my Lazy Susan, which is this manual rotating table, where I have the drone on, and I just put some black paper on this Lazy Susan, just cut it out, and I'm just using these two Nanlite power tubes to light this. So just do those two lights, and then I'm having the GVM slider, and the Sony a7 III with the Tamron 28-75, and just gonna push in slightly. And then I have one other light. It's a smaller light tube from Nanlite, the PowerTube 6C, which I'm gonna use to kind of reveal and cast some light on the drone here. And the shots I'm doing are pretty simple. We got a little bit of movement with this Lazy Susan here, but let's jump into the first shot and see what I did there. So the first shot was actually so simple. I just rigged up my camera on my Manfrotto tripod on a top-down angle, and I had the drone lying flat on the table on the black paper sheet, and I just had the Nanlite power tube on each side, and that was just it. And in post I just added a little bit of movement with pushing in and masking around the drone, and that's basically it. It's a cool opening shot, and what really adds to it is the music. I got it from Artlist. And if you want to get 2 months of free Artlist subscription, you can check down the link down below. And I've been using Artlist for years, and in my opinion, it's the best place to get your music from for your client videos or commercial work. And yeah, this video is really simple, but the music really adds to the cinematic feeling and makes the video way better. So for the second shot, I actually had the drone lying on the table like this on top of the black paper. And a lot of people ask me how I'm making the background 100% pure black. And what I'm doing is I'm using this black paper as a background, and then I'm masking around the object. Now, if the object is just lying still on the table and is not moving, it's pretty easy because you just have to mask once and then you just can manipulate it. And the reason I'm using this black backdrop is you can mask it in, like feather it in, and then you don't have to be super precise. So that's why I'm using this black background here and also the black background on the table here. But when the subject is moving, like for example, if I have it on this Lazy Susan and the subject is moving, I have to keyframe the masking. So because this is moving, I have to put a keyframe there, mask around, then get one frame over and then get another mask around it and then keyframe it again. Because otherwise the mask wouldn't work and it has to move with the subject. And this is how I get the 100% pure background with masking, and the black backgrounds really help with that. But let's jump back into this shot, how I did this. And the reason I put it upside down is I want to get some movement in with the movement of the gimbal, and I can't turn it on when it's on the right side. So I put it upside down and I just pressed the button and started it up. And while it's doing that, I'm just pushing in with the slider, and I'm just going to move over with this little light here to give it a little bit of movement with lighting. Yeah, pretty simple. And then in post, I will just add a little rotation, and that's it. Pretty easy shot, but it looks really good. So the next shot is when I was rotating the drone on the Lazy Susan here. And what I wanted to do is I wanted to reveal the name of the drone here, which is written on this little arm here. And I just wanted to rotate it towards the camera, and the camera was pushing in at the same time to create like a nice parallax movement, and then just revealing the drone. And while I was doing that, I was just going over with this small Nanlite PowerTube 6C, just shining some light on the drone to make it a little bit more interesting. And I'm just gonna have this blind open here to give a nice soft lighting from the side that it's not as dark. And then yeah, it's just masking everything out here in post. And yeah, that's basically it. And also what I'm doing is for another shot is I'm just gonna use this little light here again and going over to create a nice stripe of light on that camera here. So the light goes over the camera gimbal and just revealing it and make it a little bit more interesting and teasing it. And then I had a few other rotating shots where it just was spinning the Lazy Susan like this, and both of these Nanlite paddle tubes were turned on. I'm just spinning it and creating some nice movements with the drone. This Lazy Susan is not ideal because it's like a little bit unstable and it gets jittery. So I actually got a new one, which I'm gonna use in the next shoot. This should be way smoother and way less worky because you don't have to like fiddle around and try a lot of takes to make it as smooth as possible. But yeah, this still turned out fine, just takes a little bit more time. And if you just have that lying around, the Lazy Susan from your mom's kitchen, just use that one, it still works. So the last shot is actually pretty similar to the first shot, where the camera was rigged up on the Manfrotto tripod on a top-down angle, and I just had the Nanlite paddle tubes on either side. The drone was just sitting in the middle, and the light tubes were facing down at first, and while the shot was going, I was just rotating them up towards the drone and revealing the drone kind of. And then just masking around the drone to get that pure background, and then just add a little zoom in post, and that's basically it. Pretty simple, but looks so cool. That's it everybody, thanks so much for sticking around until the end of the video. I hope you learned something today. As always, a free and easy way to support the channel is hit that like button, and if you haven't subscribed, you might consider subscribing, I'd really appreciate it. If you have any questions, shoot me a message on Instagram at sebpicmedia, and I will certainly see you in the next one.